Tonight on KVR News, another case of Ebola in the U.S.
Breast cancer awareness, how a mobile bus is providing free health screenings for women.
And controlling traffic lights in Austin.
You're watching KVR News, Austin's leader for live, local, UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to KVR News for this Monday, October 13th. I'm Sandy Marin.
And I'm Loana Solis.
A second case of Ebola in Dallas has been confirmed by the CDC Sunday. The female health worker who provided care for the first Ebola patient, Thomas Eric Duncan, tested positive with the virus and has been unable to point out how the breach might have occurred. She wore protective gear such as a gown, gloves, mask, and shield while treating the patient, said Dr. Daniel Varga of Texas Health Resources. If the preliminary diagnosis is confirmed, this would be the first known case of Ebola being contracted or transmitted in the U.S.
In other disease-related news, enterovirus D68 has been causing severe respiratory illness across the nation for children. The virus infected more than 500 children. There have been 5 related deaths since September. EVD68 spreads like a common cold through respiratory secretions, such as coughing, sneezing, or touching an infected surface.
In other health news, flu season is upon us. Flu season in the U.S. typically begins around late October and can last until March or April. University Health Services will continue hosting flu shot clinics on campus throughout this week and the next.
Consistently, around 15% of our students report that they've suffered a negative academic impact in the last year because of colds, flu, or sore throat. So we try to immunize as many people as we can to keep folks in class and doing their best.
All flu shot clinics for this week have been confirmed. This week's clinics will begin Tuesday at noon in the Gregory Gym Games Room. For the flu schedule and locations of upcoming clinics, go to healthyhorns.utexas.edu. The University of Texas has lost a legend, retired Texas State Judge Harley Clark. The creator of the world-famous UT Longhorns hand sign passed away last Thursday. Clark, the head cheerleader, came up with the symbol at a Texas pep rally in Gregory Gym the day before the Longhorns took on Texas Christian University in football. He demonstrated the hand sign to the crowd, saying that it was the official hand of the University of Texas. To this day, fans around the world universally show their support with Clark's original Hook 'em Horns.
Whether it's a Longhorn game or a special event in Austin, traffic often takes a turn for the worse. To help defeat this problem, the Austin Transportation Department has rolled out a new signaling system. The $1.5 million tech connects 1,000 traffic signals across town through fiber optic cables. Employees watch cameras at each intersection and use a remote to change lights from green and red depending on traffic flow. The department is collaborating with Capital Metro and police, working to improve the travel times and safety in the city.
We are focused on that. We realize over 100 people are moving to Austin every day, and we're pulling out all the different tools that we have to try to at least stay up with that. In a lot of cases we can make it better. In some cases there's just too much traffic.
The Transportation Department says some signals still need a crew to come out and make changes. If you know of a traffic light that needs to be addressed, you can call 311. A Texas law was enacted last year to require voters to present proper photo ID at elections before their votes can be counted. Attorneys and several minority groups are now challenging the law and claiming that it violates Federal Voting Rights Act. On Thursday, U.S. District Judge Nelva Gonzalez Ramos ruled that the law created an unconstitutional burden and discriminated against Hispanics and African Americans. Although the state of Texas maintains the law that prevents voters fraud, the certain state representatives and senators are content with the federal judge's decision to stand up for the rights to vote for all Texans. Early voting for November 4th general election starts November 28th and ends October 31st.
Austin Police Department is in search of a person wanting for targeting and throwing urine at women in West Campus. The first incident occurred on September 20th around 2 a.m. on San Gabriel, where one woman was injured. The second incident occurred Wednesday around 10:30 p.m. at 2300 Leon Street. APD is on the lookout for a lifted black or dark colored Jeep Wrangler. Anyone with information is asked to past weekend throughout Ferguson, St. Louis, and surrounding parts of Missouri. Named Ferguson October and Weekend of Resistance, demonstrations are being held demanding the arrest of the officer who killed unarmed Mike Brown, and to rally against the death of 18-year-old Vonderrit Dondre Myers, who was killed by St. Louis police just this past week.
This past week, 17-year-old Malala Yousafzai was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, making her the youngest ever recipient. In 2012, the Pakistani teenager was shot in the head during a Taliban school bus attack in an attempt to silence her campaign for women's education. After recovering, she started the Malala Fund to promote girls' education. India's Kailash Satyarthi joins her as a fellow 2014 Peace Prize recipient. The 60-year-old is now known for heading peaceful demonstrations focused on the exploitation of children for financial gain.
Still to come, 3D printers become more easily accessible to the public.
And the growing pumpkin spice obsession. You're watching KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
In support of the university operating the UT-FAC on a 24/7 basis. University-wide representatives say that it's important to have a solid 24/7 workspace available to students, in addition to the 24/5 PCL. SG President Corey Rady said that he anticipates the new FAC hours may start by next month.
3D printing has revolutionized manufacturing by creating ways to print things from machines to human body parts. Chelsea Pena shows us how this technology is becoming more easily accessible to the public.
3D printer usage has been restricted to labs because they're big and expensive. They just haven't been practical for the consumer until now. UT student Gregory Cerna bought a kit that allowed him to easily build his own printer and operate it right in his very own bedroom.
I spent a couple months researching, and then I finally got around to buying a kit and then building the kit, and the rest is history. I have 3D printed a key to my own house. You're able to turn like ideas into objects in a matter of hours.
Recently, UT made 3D printing services available to its students right here at the Mechanical Engineering Building. Students have the ability to create and print their own designs, ranging from novelty items like this pumpkin to gears and parts for their own creations, all at their own convenience and for a low price.
One of the things I'm hoping that this will do is create and nurture a sort of a culture of making and being entrepreneurial, right? Having ideas, putting them into motion, and actually being able to make those ideas and hold them in your hand, right? Designing new things, trying new things.
Businesses are capitalizing on the growth of interest in 3D printing. Those in the industry say that with easy-to-build models, what was an expensive process before is finally paying off.
The technology was locked up, expensive, only available to a small group of people. The innovation in the materials did not really happen. Now people are looking at it as a manufacturing endpoint. And that's the biggest wave that we're seeing with respect to adaptation and how it's going to explode.
The average price of a 3D printer ranges from $500 to $1,000. That price is expected to drop as they continue to become more accessible. Chelsea Pena, KVR News.
Snapchat pictures may not be completely erased after 10 seconds. Hackers accessed at least 100,000 Snapchat pictures and are preparing to leak them. According to a report from Business Insider, there is said to be underage nude pictures collected as well. The third-party app that was hacked has been collecting photos and video files sent through it for years, amounting to more than 13 gigabytes.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is underway, and hospital in Austin is making it easier for women to receive medical care. Seaton's Big Pink Bus is a self-contained breast screening on wheel service featuring advanced digital mammography. The Big Pink Bus offers all of their services for free and can be located by giving them a quick call or going on their website, thebigpinkbus.com.
If you have class in the Bill and Melinda Gates Computer Science Building, art might just have recently caught your eye. That's because Los Angeles-based artist Casey Reyes unveiled his pieces in front of the two main offices of the building. What is unique about his work is that instead of typically using paints and other art supplies, Reyes used codes to create the design in every color or splash in the painting. A different algorithm, his work in mathematical theory of communication, is a two-part mural created by generating thousands of images with infinite variations, placed with the idea that information is circling all around us at all times in radio, TV, satellites, and news. The cooler weather and shift in season has brought back a popular coffee drink. The pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks came back for fall on August 25th. This featured seasonal drink is causing a rise in demand for other pumpkin products. Across the nation, according to KPLC TV, 200 million pumpkin spice lattes have been sold over the past decade. This is a 34% rise in demand. The pumpkin craze has transitioned from coffee to other products. The USD students seem to take part in the trend.
When I discovered that they had pumpkin spice lattes, I was like, oh hey, great transition over from like baked goods. It can now be in my coffee.
With the whole like pumpkin cookies and like the pumpkin cream cheese muffins, I feel like that's very much a Starbucks influenced thing.
This time of year, all the promotions and stuff at the same time, Starbucks, Bath and Body Works, stuff like that, it would kind of put me in the fall mood. So yeah, I could say I could go out and buy a pumpkin or two.
I definitely think I'll probably be decorating pumpkins this year and probably be basic and like post a picture carving a pumpkin, drinking a pumpkin spice latte.
According to the countdown to redcups.com, holiday drinks will be available on November 3rd.
This past weekend and just this morning, we saw cooler temperatures and rain. It seems like we will never see a dry ACL weekend too.
Our Deanna Govea is live in the Weather Center with this week's weather. Deanna, what can we expect?
Well, it was pretty breezy today, and you can expect that for tomorrow, but we will see higher temps this week. More on that after the break.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. This week began with a cold front that brought in showers and thunderstorms, but it looks like we can expect lots of nice weather and sunshine in the days to come, with little to no chance of rain until the end of the week. We will see mostly clear, cool nights throughout this week as well. Tonight will be windy and chilly with a low of 55. Plan to dress in layers because tomorrow will also be windy, but sunny with a high of 76 and a 0% chance of rain. Temperatures will rise into the low to mid 80s beginning Wednesday. Thursday will be a little warmer with a high of 86. On Friday, temperatures will drop into the low 80s. Throughout the weekend, we will see slightly lower temperatures with a high of 80 for both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, we can expect partly sunny skies and a 20% chance of showers and storms. It's good to see nice fall weather in our forecast before the next storm system approaches, which is set to move in Sunday evening. Before then, let's enjoy the sunshine. Live in the Weather Center, Deanna Govea, KVR News.
All right, thanks, Deanna.
College Press Box's Taylor Smith will be in the studio to talk Longhorn sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box Taylor Smith. This Saturday, Texas football took on 11th ranked Oklahoma in the annual Red River Showdown. Let's go to the Cotton Bowl to see who got the beautiful golden hat. The Horns, taking on 11th ranked Oklahoma, actually scored first with a field goal. But right here, Oklahoma's Alex Ross takes the kickoff 91 yards back for an Oklahoma touchdown. Oklahoma goes up 7-3. In the Second quarter, Texas offense is still looking for a touchdown, but Swoops throws an interception, and OU takes it all the way back for a pick six. Oklahoma leads 17-3. OU fans are sure happy about this one. Later, Swoops is trying to redeem himself, and he does, to John Harris for a Texas touchdown. Texas still trailing 17-10 going into halftime, and Peter Jenkins ain't having any of it. Third quarter, Trevor Knight throws to Sterling Shepard, and OU gets its first offensive touchdown of the game. OU goes up 24-13. In the fourth quarter, Samaje Perine runs 13 yards for an OU touchdown. Things are not looking good for Texas, but wait, Swoops with a beautiful pass to Marcus Johnson of a gain of 41 yards, taking it all the way to the Oklahoma 5-yard line, which John Harris would score a touchdown. We've got a game. Still down 31-20, Swoops runs in 12 yards for a touchdown. Texas only down 5 points, but Texas runs out of time, and OU wins the game 31-26. Losing to Oklahoma is always a tough one, but the Horns learned a lot from this game. Reporter Jeff Barker was there for the game. Here's what he took away.
It's one of the most storied rivalries in all of college football.
So, Taylor, what does Texas
A week where all
need to
records
do?
and stats are thrown out the window, and all that matters is who will be crowned King of the Red River for the next year. Texas head coach Charlie Strong got his first taste of the Red River rivalry this weekend in Dallas.
It's a great environment, and you just knew that just coming into the stadium, just seeing the fans lined up, and just, you know, just like the way our team went out and competed. This is one of those games where the record really doesn't matter. Just put the record aside, and I knew we were going to be a step faster and a step quicker, in which we were.
Unfortunately for the Longhorns, they weren't able to get Coach Strong a win in his first trip to the Cotton Bowl. Once again, it was a combination of turnovers and missed opportunities that knocked Texas out of this one.
Because of penalties and things we hurt, but you know, this game, it was meant a little bit more because we knew we were that close. Tyrone's long run that gets called back on a penalty, a fumble on the goal line, interception that gets taken back. So we were that close. I mean, we could have put up points, and we just hurt ourselves.
After the loss to OU, the Longhorns sit at 2-4 on the regular season and will almost certainly be fighting to become bowl eligible by the end of the year. However, players and coaches remain optimistic that what they've shown on the field thus far is not an accurate reflection of how good this team really is.
It doesn't feel like a 2-4 team. This team, you know, we're head over heels, man. We're just making minor mistakes, and we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
You look at the record and you think we're having a terrible season. That's not necessarily true if you were to, you know, watch the first half and stuff. We've got a really good team.
Texas will have a chance to get back on track next week when they host the 2-4 Iowa State Cyclones. Reporting from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, I'm Jeff Barker, College Press Box.
So, Taylor, what does Texas need to do to start getting some Big 12 wins?
They really need to work on their mental game. There was way too many costly penalties in this Oklahoma game. Their offense was finally starting to break through. We see their defense is really well, and it's stepped up big time. Their special teams, though, can still use some work. So I think with the combination of working on the mental game and probably the special teams, hopefully we can get a win against Iowa State this weekend.
All right, thanks, Taylor. Our Madeline Christensen has your entertainment news tonight. What's going on in the entertainment world, Madeline?
Well, Taylor Swift receives a big award, a Seventh Heaven star caught in a scandal, and Angelina Jolie is honored by the Queen. All this coming up next.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Taylor Swift has been named 2014's Woman of the Year by Billboard magazine. This is the second time the Shake It Off singer is awarded the title, first receiving it in 2012. The award is based on how influential and successful a female artist has been in the past year. Billboard will present the 7-time Grammy winner with the award at the 9th annual Women in Music event on December 12th in New York. Swift's new album 1989 is due out later this month on October 22nd. Last week, actor Stephen Collins had an audio recording released where he admits to molesting 3 young girls between the ages of 11 and 13. Collins, famously known for his role as the father of the show Seventh Heaven, admitted that one of the girls was a relative of his then-wife, Faye Grant. Collins' agent, as well as the movie Ted 2 and ABC's Scandal, have broken ties with the actor. NYPD has the tape and is conducting an ongoing investigation. Angelina Jolie has been made an honorary dame by the Queen for her campaign work to fighting sexual violence and for her services to the United Kingdom foreign policy. Queen Elizabeth presented her with the honor in a ceremony at Buckingham Palace this past week. Jolie was bestowed the insignia of an honorary dame, Grand Cross of the Most Distinguished Order of St. Michael and St. George. She was among over 1,000 people to receive an honor for their contribution to the British Society and the 2014 Queen's Birthday Honors List. That's all for your entertainment news. For updates throughout the week, be sure to follow our KVR Entertainment News Twitter at KVR News ENT. Back to you.
Thanks, Madeline. And thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sandy Marin.
And I'm Loana Solis. For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
Stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. Have a great night.